are listening to Fast Track Podcast, the place to be to fast track your personal finance or fast track your business, or both, through a series of conversations with those who have learned it, done it, and made it. Today I have Nenad Bozic. Nenad Bozic is a data enthusiast and entrepreneur. He's the co-founder of SmartCat company delivering production-ready AI solutions. He's a strong believer in balancing between the good technical skills and the soft skills, which resulted with the CEO role in data company. He is such an inspiring person. In this interview, we talk about how he managed to found a company and grow from 0 to 60 employees in 6 years, how he's coping with stress and find work-life balance, and what the lessons he has learned during his entrepreneurial journey. Let's listen to his story. Hello, welcome to Fast Track Podcast, Nenad.
Thanks for having me, Asi.
And to start with the first question, usually I have it for my guests. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself, your background.
Definitely. So, I don't know how far I should go, but regarding professional career, my background is engineering. I finished the Faculty of Technical Science, and then I started working as a software developer. Throughout the course of my career, which was 10 years before SmartCat, I joined 5 companies. I worked with various software languages and building interesting applications, both mobile and web. And I really enjoyed it and I really liked it. What I didn't like is lack of understanding and in what are we doing and why. So I think natural next step after realizing that in neither of companies I will get that is trying to do it on my own. Together with that, I started learning about data, power of data, forecast predictions, and analyzing data and doing data-driven decisions. And therefore, this company of mine had a focus of, we realized that we want to work with data. So 6 years ago, I started SmartCat together with my co-founders, and we started enjoying ourselves because we had full control. We decided what we will do, how we will do it, and we decided which problems we will solve.
When you started SmartCat, which is your current company, did you plan it from while you were working as a full-time employee, or how did this transition happen?
Mm-hmm. Actually, we wanted to build a new vertical in the company that we worked for. 3 of us original founders worked together in one service-based company here in Novi Sad. And we suggested to the owners that we want to create a data department there. But unfortunately, they didn't invest enough time to research all the things that we need to research in order to create really a business vertical. So we wanted to create a department there, but we couldn't. And then we were open and honest about it. We realized we want to do it alone. And if there is a mode where we can do it alone but still work for existing clients of theirs, because a lot of clients in that previous company worked closely with us and they liked us. So we didn't want to create a huge disruption there. We wanted to have a phase out, phase in approach, but that didn't work. So we stopped working there, and 3 of us found intermediate jobs where we were honest that we are building a company, but at the moment we don't have customers. So we will work on marketing materials, website and sales while working as a software developer. So for that company, for 2 companies that we were hired. I was hired in one company, my friend Mattia was hired in another company. So this was like 1 year transition period, and then we found the first customer from Netherlands, and we started working for them. Ever since we are alone on that journey, and we are working on for ourselves.
Well, okay, then I'm glad that everything worked out, because since I founded my company at the beginning was so difficult. Really, there's so many things to do, and it feels like you don't know which path is the right path. You have to figure out yourself along the way. And
definitely. And you're leading the company for the first time. So I mean, we found some advisors to help us on that way. Two of our partners, so there were five partners, right? Three founders, Boyan, Mattia, and me. We had smart money, like investors who advised us how to lead the company. So that really helped in first when we made our first steps.
And did you know that you need investors, or did you know how to become an entrepreneur even before you started this? Or were you exposed to this kind of venture style?
I would say looking at it right now from this perspective, not really. But when I dig deeper into my past, there was always some kind of initiatives from my side. When I was a student, I was building websites and I found those customers somehow, or online or through my limited network back then. Even before that, when I went to the vacation with my parents, when I was 7, 8 years old, I charged for looking at my masters of the universe collection. So even back then I had bits and pieces about entrepreneurial experience. So I would say I was not prepared for what it takes to lead a modern company in IT sector in 2000s, but for sure there were some bits and pieces of me being an entrepreneur throughout my life.
Right. You mentioned that because you want to find out the why of doing things, not just do the things. If you were, I would say, a senior manager in the department, you would also be able to tap into the why, I think.
Yeah.
But why did you choose to start your own company instead of heading a department?
I mentioned at the beginning that we wanted to build a department in the company that I was working for, but unfortunately, they didn't want to invest into building a department. And I didn't have alternative here in Serbia. We opened up first data company with a narrow focus of data science and data engineering. So this data part made a difference. Probably I can be a senior manager and understand why, but this niche of working with data was not an option, at least here in Serbia, and I wanted to stay in Serbia for a while.
Okay, I see. And then during your entrepreneurial journey as a business owner, what are the, let's say, top biggest learnings that you wish you have known before you made these mistakes?
Yeah, probably that coping with stress is the one. Stress when working for others and being senior manager or developer, whatever, is nothing compared to the stress when you have your own company. So this is something that I wish I knew, but if I knew it back then, I wouldn't start a company. So I'm fortunate that I learned to work with it and overcome it and become better at it, because I think it's improvement, self-improvement journey. So this is the one. Trusting in people. I made a few choices, choosing partners and hiring people in SmartCat, which is not easy and where I made mistakes. So working with people and choosing people you want to share this entrepreneurial journey is not easy. I think those are the biggest takeaways. So working with people, choosing partners, and coping with stress.
Yeah, let's talk about a little bit on the people part, because when you're working in the companies, right, naturally, you most of the time, unless you hire for your own team, you don't choose who will be your colleagues.
Yep.
And then in your own company, you can choose who will be in your team. What do you think are the challenges when you talk about finding the right people? Is it not easy to find people with the right capability, or it's just people don't share the same vision? Or why do you think it's difficult?
I think it's the latter. I am really detail oriented and perfectionist. And when in SmartCat, I have possibility, right, to choose, as you said, who I will work with. But then it becomes much harder because a lot of times I have problems with a million of things regarding people who are coming to interviews and who I should hire in this market. Ability to choose people actually made it much harder for me and for our company, but it worked good because three of us, at least at the beginning, first thing that we did is written down the values, and we are leading the company according to those values, and pretty much those are common values which three of us share among us, and we are communicating them out loud. So I think we managed to gather the team which is sharing those values together with us. And also what we wrote at the beginning of our entrepreneurial journey is what we don't want to become, like things which SmartCat shouldn't become over years. And I think it's also good guidance because people who are here also probably left other companies because of similar reasons.
Right. I think that's a very interesting because many people would focus on what do we want to become, right? What kind of environment we want to create. If you also mention what we don't want to become, I think it's a great way, new perspective to look at it.
Yeah. I think what you want to become you can spend a couple of years, and this is a vision. But definitely there are some kind of trade-offs you don't want to do, and I think those are the ones that should be there on your list of what you don't want to become.
During our email exchange, you wrote about also one of the reasons you want to have your own company is to have the freedom. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
That was a naive looking at things. But generally, yeah, having my own company gave me freedom to, when I don't feel like spending the day in office, I can just go and be in the countryside. I don't need to like send an email for approval or something like that. I can go home at 2 o'clock and then work in the evenings to if I have something. So I think there is a freedom being your own boss. There is responsibilities, but because now you have 60 people who are looking at you to make decisions and steer direction. So freedom and responsibility always go hand in hand.
Yeah, that's a very good sentence. Freedom and responsibility always go hand in hand. Earlier, you mentioned also about the stress because you have the freedom to decide what to do, but you also have the responsibility for other people, to take actions. And then it all comes also with stress because bigger responsibility means more decisions to be made. What have you experienced in the past dealing with stress, and then how do you deal with it now differently?
Yeah, especially it's hard for me because I have anxiety when you have multiple options. I learned over time to prioritize. Biggest change when dealing with stress and a lot of things on your back was for me, at least when I started dividing at least business decisions into urgent and important, urgent, not important, important, not urgent, and 4 quadrants. And then this was a game changer for me. Without that, you have pile of decisions you need to make during a day, and you have limited energy. And when you divide into these quadrants, probably you need to focus on important things, right? And ideally, you should have non-urgent and important things, because if you have urgent and important things, you're not doing something right. So this was a biggest game changer for me. Then I started delegating more and more. This year is, I think, all about delegating. And now I'm realizing that I have a capable team in SmartCat who can take on some of the decisions from me. So I'm trying to give them full freedom to do the decision making and steer them, or at least explain the vision, and then let them decide on some of the important things. And I think this is interesting transition, especially when you are a control freak. And I think I have some of these skills and trade-offs. So it's hard for me to delegate, but I know that it's a must because I want to build a clear work-life balance.
Yeah, I find it's also difficult to give people, especially employees in your team, the freedom to decide. At the beginning, really need to guide them, because some people, if you give them the freedom to, like a blank piece of paper, just draw something, they might get confused because they don't know what do you want. Yep. At the beginning, need a lot of hand holding. So how did you manage to transition from hand holding your employees to enable them making decisions themselves, but still deliver the right results on the right path?
I think you need to talk a lot. I think generally sharing and explaining the vision is the most important thing. I have this leadership team, and this leadership team is growing year by year. And I think it's really important to have them on month to month or week by week basis and explain where we are going. And then when everybody has a clear vision what we are trying to achieve, I think having spread of decision making is not a problem. I recently read No Rules from Netflix, and they had a great analogy or sentence there that you need to bend all the boundaries, but have a perfectly in sync leadership team. Perfectly in sync is probably to synchronize the vision, what we are trying to achieve. Bend all the boundaries means that everybody can, within their department, can do the decision making, but we need to know where we are heading.
Right. And let's talk about also future. Now you have already learned so much from your entrepreneur journey. You have your leadership and you get your work-life balance in place. What's your plan for the future for yourself?
Generally, I like building a team around me because that gives me more freedom to do something else, whether it is spending time with my family or doing R&D or leading some other department. What I realized would be beneficial for me is when we are improving one vertical in company. For example, if we are not good at marketing and we want to be better in marketing, I think I should put my focus there and be there together with some operational team and share the vision how we want to do it. And this operational team will start doing it until they're good to do it alone. So in the company, I want to join various departments which I want to build and sort of like invent them and share the vision what we should do within that department, which will strengthen the company because we will be more widespread and we will have much more to offer to our customers. And I think at the end that will give me a freedom to spend time with my family back home, which is goal of mine. You mentioned in our email exchange early retirement. I think I'm not built that way yet because I always need a purpose and to do something outside of my family life. But what I would like to do is to have ability to do it when I want and enjoy life when I want. So again, have freedom in personal life to organize time however I want.
Yeah, and we also say early retirement is not about like literally the retirement is not do nothing, is the freedom of you deciding what to do. So instead of work, go to office, and then you do the retirement as RE, as a recreational entertainment. Maybe.
What I realized, you asked what would be future. I think I learned a lot over these 6 years, and I had like 3 to 5 people, important people who guided me through the process. I would like to return back to community. This sounds so cliche, but I would like to be advisor to someone who is starting this entrepreneurial journey, have someone who will have this energy to operationally build the company and be there day to day and work and hassle and everything. And I would like to be in this position to be an advisor and share the knowledge and the experience to that person or multiple persons, and maybe help them build something great.
Yeah, that's a very meaningful work. And again, you don't need to say I retire, right? But now you do something meaningful. You don't even need to do it for the money. I think that's the ultimate freedom to choose what you want to do.
Yeah, as long as you treat money as something that is giving you freedom, I think you're good. And I like to think about it both in SmartCat and outside of SmartCat as a mean of giving us the freedom. For example, in SmartCat, we are investing a lot in learning programs, knowledge budget, technical vacations. Like we are giving employees 10 days to research the technology they want. And for all of that, you need money. You need to earn money to be able to cope with expenses while you are giving this time to employees. I think it's similar in your private life. So definitely you need to earn money in order to have freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, so we have this fast track money course, and the essence of this is to use money as a tool to pursue your dream life. So money is not the end. Money is actually a tool to have freedom, have, to explore other opportunities and experiences in life. Definitely.
Yeah. And one more thing, I think money should be consequence. If you're doing what you envisioned you will do, great. Money will come.
Yeah. And you mentioned now you have 60 employees.
60, yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
quite a growth in 6 years, 60. And what are some of the milestone pinnacles in the last 6 years?
Yeah, at first we started off as a consultancy company, and then we wanted to like have this small milestone, not to connect SmartCat with Mattia, Nicola, and me, who were like faces of the company at the beginning, but to more employees in SmartCat. And this was the first milestone, and I think we managed it. It was hard milestone because you need to train these new hires to do excellent job as you are doing it, and you are motivated because it's your company, etc., etc. Then we wanted to build the first data science team in Serbia, Europe, and do machine learning projects. And after 2 or 3 years, we managed to grab the first data science project. We created recommender engine for one e-commerce platform. So this was great because our background is engineering, and building a data science team was completely different beast. So this was really nice milestone. We added Mihailo, my college buddy, who went to US, and now he's working for Airbnb to be data science lead, and he helped us build a team, and he is one of shareholders, and his sole goal was to build this data science team. And now our goal with 60 people, and why we grew to that number, even though we started off as a consultancy shop, is to have enough roles in one team to build something from 0 to 1. We have business analysis, then delivery management, then front end and back end. We want to listen to the problem of a customer and then build the full solution. And we need multiple roles to do that. It's not as we are renting 2 or 3 guys to some and then they are doing the work. We really want to take the ownership of organization of the work, delivery of the work, quality of the work, and for that you need multiple roles within the team. So this is the milestone we are chasing right now.
Yeah, awesome. It's now you're providing a full-fledged services so that you control the quality and you make sure that the delivery to our customers is the best quality possible.
Yes. Yeah. I believe that IT service industry is a bit broken because everybody is writing specification of the job of people they cannot hire, and they are calling IT agencies to provide this personnel, but this is like headhunting. This should be not the job of IT service or software engineering company. Software engineering company should create software as a solution to the problem that the customer has. And we are trying to do something differently. When they ask for a skill set, we ask for the problem, and then we organize a workshop to understand the problem. And we think that we should suggest who should and how build the software, because this is what we do, and we should have better understanding and knowledge how to do it, and business companies should have better understanding what business problem they want to solve.
Correct, because you are providing a solution to their problem. Yes. But maybe when they approach you, they didn't think about the delivery, the solution. They already think about how they should do it, then they need the resources to fill in the how. But because they are the business companies, they literally don't have the full picture of the best version of the how, right? So you have to educate them.
We believe that we can do it. And this means that we are losing some of the business because IT services industry is functioning this way, and everybody's playing the game. Those who understand what we are saying are the perfect customers of ours. And when I meet some of the founder or owner or budget holder of the company who wants to engage with us on the workshop and really solve the problem with us, especially data problem where we are good at.
Yeah, I absolutely understand. Also, in my other business, I also face customers who don't want to explore the why. They don't want to find out the solutions with us. They just want, I need one video, I need one article, I need this. It's very difficult to educate them, but some customers, they understand. Do the strategy first, then the how follows naturally.
Corona made it even worse, I think, because the companies opened up hiring abroad and hiring remotely. And now you are treating IT agencies as headhunting shops, which shouldn't be the way to do it. I think we are more than that, especially because we came from consultancy background. So we have a brain, we have a hands. I usually say we are not the hands, we are also the brains.
Yeah.
So we come with, you can learn something from us.
Totally agree. All right. I don't have other questions. Would you like to leave a key message to the audience?
Maybe regarding entrepreneurial journey, I think I never looked back, and I think I would follow this journey throughout my career, especially because I mentioned that I would like to advise some of the young people how to do it. So freedom to tailor your company as you think it should be done is great, and the freedom to mix your private and professional career is much easier, even though it doesn't sound like that when you are an entrepreneur, especially if you have boundaries. It's so easy to burn out, as you said, and be the work weekends, work late nights. But the great thing about being an entrepreneur is the realization that you can organize yourself, that you can hire help when you need to, that you can take 2 projects, not 4. Those are all decisions that you can make. So I think this makes it interesting, and I hope I inspire some of your listeners to take this journey.
Yeah. You definitely inspired me. I can relate to a lot what you talk about. And if someone wants to reach out to you, would you mind share with us how can people get in touch with you?
Definitely. I'm always available on a SmartCat email. It's nenad.bozic@smartcat.io. And I respond a lot on LinkedIn. This is not a promo reach out, but a meaningful reach out. So you can direct message me on LinkedIn.
All right. Make sure all the links are in the show notes. And thank you so much for being here, Nenad.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Fast Track Podcast. Show me your support by liking this episode and sharing it with your friends. Join the Facebook group at Fast Track Podcast 1, or you can find us on Instagram, YouTube, and of course the homepage fasttrack.life. See you in the next episode.